I don't know what the most annoying part of that loss was. The fan behind the plate that was screaming their damn head off, the result itself, or the fact that, of course, I come back and the Mets lose. And yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. The Mets lost 5-4 to the Los Angeles Angels. And like, it's just disgraceful, this type of loss, because you have to do way better than that against one of the worst pitching staffs assembled in baseball. Once Joyce came in, that's the only time I could say, you know what, you tip your cap to the opponent because you know what, they're just better than you. But are we serious that Soriano they can't hit off Matt Moore of all people? You're telling me you can't get knocks off those guys? Come on, man. And then on top of that, the pitching staff in general. I know they had a couple of hits robbed from them, the Mets, that is, by the way. But it's just like, you need to be way better than that. You just need to be way better than that at the plate. I mean, Jesse Winker just no-showed in the 5-hole, which was a crucial spot in the lineup that you're getting outs from nonstop. Luis Torrens, I have no clue what Carlos Mendoza was doing, letting him go up to the dish later on in this game when he already was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. I don't understand how Alvarez isn't getting out of the dugout to hit there, nor for Tyrone Taylor, as a matter of fact, later on. I just didn't understand the decision-making there. And then the pitching, of course, Brazoban, the first time he lets up a home run in a while, is just, of course, in this game. Ottavino can't get you through an inning. It's just so annoying, a loss like this, but we'll talk about it. I don't remember if I went through the intro, but leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. But let's talk about the game. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done this. At least my vacation was good. That's really about it for the extent of that sort of thing. But first inning, first at bat, Kevin Pillar laying his body on the line like he's in his damn prime to rob Francisco Lindor of a hit. Maybe there's a run there that gets scored because JD Martinez got a single later on. Pete Alonso got a walk. Maybe a run gets scored at some point there. But no, Winker strikes out, which he, again, did not look good today. And then the bottom of the first, of course, the Angels just score. Zach Neto just absolutely pants them today, which was just really annoying. And then Pillar, of course, poetic, robs them of a catch in the first. With 2 outs, he gets an RBI single to make it 1-0. The other two, what's called 2 at-bats later, Peterson gets out of the inning there. Then the second inning, the Mets go down in order. Bottom of the second, there was a single. That was really about it for the Angels side of things. Third inning, the Mets got a couple base runners, did nothing with it. They had a double and a catcher's interference. Couldn't do anything with it. Pete Alonso, not really a pretty look while striking out. Bottom of the third, you know what? I'll give Jesse Winker this today. The guy played good in the outfield. He was making a couple sliding catches. For a guy that I really thought was like brutally piss poor defensively, and a guy that hasn't played in the outfield much this season, I gotta give him credit on that behalf, on that part, that he's at least looked good out there in the outfield. But we go to the top of the fourth, the Mets go down in order. Bottom of the fourth, Angels go down in order. Then the fifth inning, McNeil, I don't know how many times this has to happen before McNeil just becomes a heads-up base runner, but again, gets a hit and tries to stretch it out for a double there. And if he ended up being safe there, yeah, Lindor would get an RBI there, and we're talking about maybe a different game. But it's just not the case. And then the bottom of the fifth, a double, a leadoff double. Peterson gets the next 2 outs. And then, of course, Zach Neto ends up getting an RBI single, 2-0. And then the inning would end from O'Hoppe striking out. We go to the 6th inning. The Mets, again, get a couple base runners. Alonso had a single. Vientos had a walk. Really not much else. Bottom of the 6th, at least a 1-2-3 inning there. And then the 7th inning, everything looked so up. Jeff McNeil walks. Tyrone Taylor strikes out, which he has not looked great as of lately. He had like that 1 week stretch where he looked pretty good against the Yankees and the why am I blanking on the opponent there? The Braves. Braves there, yeah. But Lindor got a single. Hunter Strickland comes in, and I hate that guy for how terrible he was with the Mets. So I'm like, can we please do something? Brandon Nimmo walks, and then JD Martinez hits a grand slam. I was so sure that there was no chance in hell the Mets were losing this game after that. I would have liked for them to have tacked on a couple base runners. They didn't. And then the next inning, Brazoban gets 2 strikeouts, and it's paint. It's paint paint. And then he allows a single, allows a walk. And then Zach Neto comes up. The problem is the only guy that was warming up was Alex Young at the time. And they mentioned it nonstop on the broadcast, and you didn't need to hear it to know. He's very good against left-handers. So my question is now, why is it that Alex Young was warming up in the first place when Neto, Ohapi, and Pilar were all coming up, and the common theme there is they're all right-handed hitters. So why is it that they didn't have, listen, I know Stanek, could be terrifying to bring him in, but I'm willing to roll the dice with Stanek there after Brazoban allows the first two base runners there, or allows two base runners there. I'm willing to roll the dice there on Stanek. I don't know. I don't know why Brazoban was even in that spot, but he allows a home run, 5-4. And the only logical thing I could think of for why he was in that spot is that, what's it called? You just need to get him through that in there. That's like one of the only logical things. You don't trust anyone else in the bullpen. I mean, those are like the only logical things I could think of. I don't know. I really don't get it. But Alex Young would have to come in and got Pilar out there. Then in the 8th inning, Vientos had a double, and then Terrence grounds out, McNeil grounds out, and then Tyrone Taylor grounds out to end the inning. Yeah, and that's when Joyce came in. You knew this thing was done. 8th inning, Ottavino got 2 outs, did the usual thing, and then he couldn't get the final out at all. And it took Danny Young coming in to get Guillorme out. And then the 9th inning, the Mets go down in order because Joyce was just throwing absolute heat out of the pen. And not much you could do about it. But all I know is that this was just an infuriating loss. And you need a hell of a lot better from certain guys in your lineup. Like, man, that just, like, this is not a good pitching staff you're going against. And you do that. And then Peterson, like, you look at the baseline and it's not that bad, but it's just like you could get so much better, and the underlying numbers just tell you it's just the usual thing with Peterson. Like, what do you want me to say? It's by the time he gets to the second, or he gets to the top of the order, the second or third time, it depends on the day. If he's having a good day, it will be the third time of the order. It's just round and around we go, because that's all it is with Peterson. Like, once it gets to the third time of the order, it's a nightmare. It truly is, and it's just infuriating that it is that way. Granted, he did not look good earlier on, and granted, you know what, later on, he only allowed the 1 run. And you could say he had poor defense behind him. I don't know what you want to chalk it up to, but all I know is that we're making too many excuses here for that. Like, he simply needs to be a lot better. Brazoban, yuck. I mean, that was just disgusting from him. Just not good pitching today. Not good pitching. Not good hitting. Outside of the Martinez grand slam and Lindor getting on base a couple times. Outside of that, not enough. Not enough. And we're all happy if they win the series though tomorrow. Like, now you have to win tomorrow, because you cannot drop a series to the Angels of all teams. Like, that's just unacceptable. And the pitching matchup tomorrow will be Griffin Canning, who you should be torching, but who knows? Because for some reason, this team loves to hit against quality pitchers, but when it's a bad pitcher, nope, you are the second coming of Nolan Ryan. And then Jose Quintana on the mound. So that's a wild card there. Maybe that's the reason Alvarez wasn't in the game at any point. I don't know. But all I know is it's infuriating. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know I upload or go live. And I'll see you guys in the next one.